Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. A lot of fun here in Wichita. Did our daughter's reception for the Wichita people and had a great weekend. So hope yours was too, and may all of your football teams have won. Mine came through as expected, so did pretty well. Cold weather returns to the Central Plains tonight and through. We did have moisture in the forecast. Most of that is put east of us now. The hard red winter wheat crop with this kind of cold could use some snow cover. So the crop will be stressed, probably supportive for wheat prices. And with the moisture going east, not so for beans and corn. The Greek elections have failed. Will force an election on January the 25th. Equities are off and financials are up. And I'm just wondering what type of concessions the Greece will be able to get from the EU, because right now the party that advocates defaulting all of that, sticking Europe with it, not quite secession from the EU, but talk of that, will be the party that will win on January the 25th vote. So we've got volume basically at the buck and volume and 13, so 12 to 16 will be the first sell zone. Failure to get through that, pretty much where you were, so 11s to 15s look pretty good. It's all going to be dependent upon what happens with the stock market. The stock market sells today. We do not want to be short. Only one piece of news, Dallas Fed called at 9.5. That has no impact on the markets. Settlement for last week's auction is not until Wednesday. So we don't have any news to deal with. The attractor right here is 12.5. That's where volume is. Got a dent at 15.5. And then the low volume number is actually up above off the screen. On the buy side, we had a breakout from 6, breakout from 2. So 3 to 7 is buy 1. I really just see a trading range. I don't see that much else can develop from that due to the lack of news and the holiday. Europe's banks and the UK's banks are all back online, so volume was about 50% to 2/3 of where it normally is on the overnight when you come in. So the markets are still suffering volume-wise because of the holidays, the Christmas, New Year's holidays. And Europe does know how to party, and they so we really won't have a full market until Martin Luther King's birthday, but it'll get a hell of a lot better on January the 5th than it will be as far as volume and liquidity goes, depth of market on January 5th than it has been up into that number. So I just see a trading range today. If the stock market sells, we don't want to be short. Okay, the knob spread widened, flight to quality because of the Greek elections and everything else that's going on. Citicorp had a study that out who benefit from the current stock market, and the rest of them is extremely wealthy. And again, it's it's because they own everything. They've got real estate in their portfolios, they've got fixed income in their portfolios, and they have stocks. So when the stock market goes up, naturally they benefit. There's not any magic in that type of an assessment. It's just the way that it is off of structure and how they've arranged their affairs. And the second and third generation that benefit from that don't have much of the knowledge of how it takes to build a portfolio like that or to build a company like that and hold on to it. So, but they are the major beneficiaries according to Citicorp. And I mean, how you could get somebody to pay for a webinar or a seminar like that is beyond me, but they do. Guess they have to do something with that spare time. Okay, 31's 03, sell 1. 07 to 11, sell 2 on the bond. 17 to 21, buy 1. 9 to 13, buy 2. Again, I just see a trading range. Gold's up a little bit. We left the weekend saying that news of Ukraine would probably have a little bit more to do with gold than general economic considerations. Gold didn't quite make our sell zone at 1200, stopped just below that. But again, if you ever wanted to have a limit sell or a limit buy, it's against these high volume numbers. They're just a safe place to have it. So this is our number 2 sell in our 3-2-1 methodology. And basically this high volume number held right here. This is the attractor, pulled the market to it. First time into a high volume number, it acts as support or resistance without news. They can't be taken out without news or spending time there. So we got a seller in the 95, 97 area, and 1200, 1202. Pretty tight range. The assessment of what's going on in Greece, we're back to our 90.92 buy where we've had it for, I guess, most of last week. And in the area that we really like to get long, 85, 87. You know, the Greek problem is the same problem everybody's going to have. Only Greece has experienced it first. How do you take away all these promises and expectations that you've given to everybody that you could never pay for? And large corporations in the automobile industry did it in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, made pension promises that they could never fulfill. And that burden has been passed on to the taxpayer with the government takeover of General Motors in support of Chrysler. But who does Greece pass it on? They don't have enough wealth. They don't do that. And and when you tell these people no, in Greece they kill people. In other countries they will too, in the riots. And the bottom line is, though, there just isn't enough money to fulfill all these politicians' promises, and riots in the street, disruption, falls of governments, maybe changes of political philosophy, demagogues come in and take over, which they are prone to do. And it's not a good situation. So here we are in crude. We talked about it. We had that 55 area. It's pretty good support. You're able to buy just below 55. Resistance-wise, you can see up here there's a seller in the 56.50 area, and we're at 55.47. So 55.75, 56. Like the 56.50, 75 trade, much better because it's resistance. I mean, there's no magic there. And again, we're like 54.75, 55, buy 1, buy, it's support. There's no magic there. 54, 54 and a quarter for buy 2. And it's just where we are, just leaning against the market structure because we don't think that the market can break it out today or this week without an obvious piece of news. Okay, the euro, our 21.75 is holding up pretty well, as is our 20 to 30. So here we are at 09. We'll leave our sell at 20 to 30 where it was on Friday. 40 to 50. This market's headed lower. Haven't broken yet. You can see Globex right here. They found support. We're going to make 21.75, 85 our buy. So on the assumption we can get through 22, we may have to make a decision at 22, and then 50 to 60 for buy 2. The news out of Greece is not good news for the euro dollar if they choose to support. And I don't see how they cannot support them in some way when they have in the newspaper said we're not going to support them. There's been riots and people killed in Greece, and that's not going to change. So I would look for some concessions from the EU. Okay, the E-mini is lower because of what's going on in Greece. Will it break? That will be the question. We know there are stops beneath these two numbers, and what did they do? They got the stops that are beneath there, which is what they're supposed to do. We have a tractor down at 67, so 65, 67 areas are most attractive buy. It's on the assumption that we can get there. So 75, 77, buy one. It is where support is. And then the 70, 72 will be buy two. So best support is 65 to 70. 2075 is a round number in and of itself, and it could hold a support. I see a trading range today due to the lack of news, due to pressure from Greece, but the Greek market and our support for Greece is pretty limited when you think about it, but the markets need something to stir it up. Structurally, we've got resistance in the 83 area, then 82, so 82, 84 is going to be sell one, and then our 86, 88 is going to be sell two. And I see a trading range, really a seller in the 80 to 85 area, and a buyer. I'm going to guess the buyer's at 70 to 75 right now, but it might be a little lower than that. Okay, it'll take at least 20 minutes to get everything done. I'm going to get busy on that. See you in a bit.